Q services, Qwashers, eBay and YouTube, and also TikTok now. Right, what I've got to use the Kranzle K10 TS. Automatic stop start. The machine itself 10 litres, 120 bar, and like I say, this is automatic stop start machine. Now, on the machine itself, this is the new shape. So what simply happened is we've changed, or Kranzle have changed the shape of the actual machine itself, but everything itself is the same. The reason for them changing it is they had breakages on the sides of the old type. So what simply happened was sometimes if they got caught, the little angles that come off them, the two plastic sides, sometimes got cracked off. Mainly in transit, when we're sending machines out, they could get cracked and broken off at that stage there. That's why we send machines out on pallets, not just in boxes like this, because most of the time they do get banged and bumped and everything else. So what we'll do is have a look at this machine first of all and get inside. Say hello to your new favourite tool. So we've got the hose, high pressure hose, we've got the machine, and like I just said now, before when we got the machines, we'd have this foam around it to protect. What simply happened was they had two sides coming off on the angle and round, and what used to happen was they used to get cracked all the time, both sides. As you can see there, you have very little space, so when they were putting them in the boxes, they'd be pushing against it, any bang on the side of the box it would get broken. So Kranzle have decided to change that for the better. The next thing that they've done, same again, so this is all the new range, and what you simply got is the switch on the side. Now we're going to lift this out in a minute or two and have a look at the machine itself out of its box, which we'll do in a second. The box now and all set up, showing you with it out of the box. So what we'll look at first of all, which is one of the most important parts, is you've got the inlet here. Now that is the click hose lock Gardini fitting. Yeah, I say a click is the one that we use that's top quality in the marketplace. You've also got the option obviously of doing it with a hose tail, which can be screwed on. 3/4 inch BSP is this thread here. Now if we look inside there, what we will be able to see is a filter. You'll be able to see the plastic pipe, and that's not a normal plastic pipe. With Kranzle you get hold of it and pull it out. Stainless steel mesh to protect the machine from getting any dirty. So always remember, if you start to lose pressure, the first thing you should always go to is that point there. Check that first. The next point is, if you're ever losing pressure, and depending on how old the machine is, how long you used it, you've got a jet in the lance, that wears as well. So check them for both, the first thing. You've got the instruction book here, the two of, yeah, and what you simply got there on this system as well is, on the other book is the actual serial number itself. So that's all there. Instructions how to use it and everything else. Like I say, I'm going to run through it. This is the K10 120 bar at 10 litres, and this is the automatic stop start machine. Now, next thing we'll notice is this box. The box has changed, which I mentioned before. So we used to have the parts coming off here. They used to get broken off. So what they've done is alter it, do this new box system so we don't have that fault. The switch, like I just mentioned before, is at the back. Always remember, so on these new machines, you no need to worry the same, but always make sure that gasket doesn't get damaged and worn. Get it changed on a service. This machine's running at 2,800 RPMs. So it's running slightly faster than K10. Coming out, you've got 22mm standard screw fitting on this side. You've got the unloader to turn the pressure up and down to regulate the pressure. That's automatically set when you get on that machine, so it won't go above its 120 bar. Check your machine when you first start to use it to make sure the machine is doing 120 bar. It's a good show to make sure the machine is getting the water flow it needs to be able to run the machine. So you'll see the 100 bar, 120 to the top. Next one we have faults with is this. So if we look at this part here, when you're joining these lances together, you'll see that this is a hexagon. You've also got a hexagon inside here. Make sure you match them up so the thread is fully all the way in. If you don't get it matched up, it will then blow this O-ring out that's inside there. Always make sure you get that correct. Kranzle, they've got plastic feet on the bottom, rubber feet, so it doesn't start moving and wobbling about. Stainless steel handle. Yeah, Kranzle don't alter anything, they keep the same system. The cable on the machine itself, same again, proper rubber industrial cable, not a plastic, cheap, nasty cable. High pressure hose, 210 bar rated, one wire. Yeah, little thing there on that side. I'm not a lover, obviously the gun side mainly because of the swivel side. There's no swivel in the system. These are very long, they then become a bit of an obstacle when you fix the gun to the system. But like I say, that's the way it is. We are just still doing individual units, so we can buy the bare unit and we can then make up the equipment if you wanted to. You'll see the old sighting glass here at this point. So if I tilt it slightly, you'll see the oil drop away. Yeah. Underneath there you've got the bung to drain the oil. 40 hours of use, you should be dropping that oil out and changing it for the first time. The bung just there. 14mm spanner I think it is, just undo it after you've run it for a couple of minutes. Get it nice and warm, the oil, so it runs out nice and clear. We've then got this part here that you fill the oil back up with to put back in place. Brass head on the machine itself. And like I say, this is the machine that's automatic stop start. So what we're going to do in the next phase is to actually put water to it, get the machine up and running and show you the machine and listen to the machine. Yeah, on the hose itself, 22mm screw fitting, which I mentioned before, which you'll see in a minute or two when I attach. When you put the hose onto the thing, it comes down to it. Also drops down at the front of the gun. Not most guns, your high pressure connects at this point. On Kranzle, they go in at this point. I think that's about all I've got to mention until we set the machine up now and get it up and running. It won't be a second. So we're now set up with the machine itself. So we've got the high pressure hose connected on at the front of the machine here. We've got the click connector, which we mentioned before. Now one of the little tricks that I do, obviously to make sure that you've got plenty of volume of water to run this machine, is literally crimp this hose when you set the machine running. So when we put water on the full pressure, just try and crimp it so you make sure it's not closing in and starving the machine of water. You'll then see obviously on the gauge. So we'll take the top off on the gauge, yeah, so we can see there what it's doing. We'll turn the machine on. And obviously this machine itself automatically automatically stops. Now if you had a leak on the system, the machine would stop and start. So if the gun ever started to leak, the machine would go. At that stage you need to find the fault, whether it's a leak on an O-ring on the system here, a leak on the gun somewhere on there, or the leak at the end of the lance. So always make sure that you've no leaks on the system. You don't want the machine doing that, will cause problems. You also see when you pull the trigger, this unloader comes in, let go, and it goes, can you see, in and out. That automatically pushes against this side here to make the machine stop and start. This is the automatic stop start system here. Very simple, straightforward. We've also got a soft start of the Kranzle, so we've watched this gauge. When we pull the trigger, it won't go immediately like a normal machine, straight to 120, which will pull trigger now and show. Slowly, gradually build up. We know the machine's working perfect and everything's absolutely smack on. 10122 TS. Machine run demonstrated and everything else. Q Services, Qwashers, eBay and YouTube, and also TikTok now. Thank you, Q Services.